Welcome to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. On a beautiful Sunday night, somebody could become a champion from Bluebell Park on the campus of Texas A&M in College Station. It's Texas A&M and Southern Cal Regional Final, Game 6 of the College Station Regional. We got started on Friday with Texas A&M coming from behind and winning against Lamar. Texas State beat USC, which put USC into an elimination game. They beat Lamar yesterday. They got Texas State earlier today. Last night it was the Aggies over Texas State, setting up this matchup where Texas A&M needs one win to advance to a super regional. Southern Cal trying to force a deciding Game 7 tomorrow. Alongside College Baseball Hall of Famer Todd Walker, I'm Richard Cross. Thanks so much for being with us. What a scene we've had here. What a weekend it's been all over the country. This is college baseball at its best.
Yeah, none better than here in College Station with Texas A&M. 14-0 over the last 4 regionals that Texas A&M have hosted here at College Station. And USC, wow, what an offensive output they have had. A team that only averages 7 runs a game have scored 34 runs in the last 2 games. 4 runs, 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position in the opening round. And in the 2 elimination games, they have just gone nuts. 34 runs with the 2 grand slams.
19 runs in yesterday's ball game. They go double digits again earlier today. This was on Friday. Gavin Grahovac, with Texas A&M trailing 5-0, got the scoring started. He did it with the long ball. Rinse and repeat. Deja vu last night. Got the scoring started with the long ball, but they did not stop scoring last night. 17 runs on the board for the Aggies.
We're a team that averages 9 runs a game. The best run production team in the SEC, the Texas A&M Aggies. Those top 3 potentially could be first-round picks, but Gavin Grahovac always gets it started. He's the leadoff hitter. 21 home runs this year, hit 23, and set a freshman record here at Texas A&M his freshman year. Hurt most of last year, but Gavin Grahovac is back in a big way this year.
So it's Texas A&M and Southern Cal coming up. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? They are ready to go in Aggieland. Crowd still building at Olson Field at Bluebell Park, and Andrew Johnson will be called on to try and keep the season alive tonight for Southern Cal. The sophomore from San Juan Capistrano, California, has split his time evenly this year between the role of a starter and a bullpen arm. Tonight, he makes his 11th start of the season, comes in with a record of 6-2 and a 3.44 earned run average.
Big boy on the mound, 6'3", 210 pounds, 22 appearances as a freshman last year, low 90s fastball. He's got two looks at breaking balls. He's got the slider and then the more traditional 12-6 change curveball. Changeup is an out pitch to left-handed hitters.
First pitch from Andrew Johnson to Gavin Grahovac in there for a strike. Johnson facing an offense that has hit 118 home runs and has another 116 doubles this year. It is a potent lineup, 1 through 9 for Texas A&M. This one sails outside for ball one to Grahovac.
And that's going to be the key for Andrew Johnson. Can he keep the ball in the ballpark? This is one of the best places to hit in the country. Got to keep the ball low today. He's given up 12 home runs on the year.
He gets a swing and a miss from Grahovac, and the count goes to 1-2. Texas A&M 41-14. They went 18-11 in the SEC this year. Earned the number 12 overall seed, and Grahovac rips it to third base, but Kevin Takeuchi is right there, a line out for the first out of the game.
Lightning quick hands for Gavin Grahovac. Andrew Johnson with a middle-in fastball, and he gets the barrel in. 101 miles off the bat. Gavin Grahovac right at Takeuchi for the first out.
We've seen Takeuchi start in both center field and at third base. This is the third game that he started at third base in this regional. Now Caden Sorrell to the plate. The junior with 23 home runs on the season, and he takes just outside for ball one, a fastball at 90.
Caden Sorrell's a special player. 5 tools. Can run, has a plus arm in center field, can hit for power and average, and can flat go get it in center.
23 bombs, 76 driven in, and a 3.42 average for Caden Sorrell. Michael Early in his second season as the head coach at Texas A&M. Took over for Jim Schlossnagle when he left for Texas. They were the preseason #1 team a year ago, did not make the postseason. This year, they are right where they want to be, inside the friendly confines of Bluebell Park with a packed house that is partisan Aggie. There's a strike, 3-1 now to Caden Sorrell.
This whole lineup special for A&M, but the top 3 hitters have potential to be first-round draft picks. Gavin Grahovac, Caden Sorrell, and Chris Akopian on deck. Those 3 have combined for 104 extra base hits this year.
Swing and a miss from Sorrell. He does it all. We talked about the average. The OPS, about 1,200, a little over 1,200, slugging .766 with an on-base percentage of .444, and he's got 10 stolen bases, the full count. Third base side, Takeuchi gives it a chase, and he's going to be able to make the catch. He got to the wall, measured it, went straight up, and was able to pull it in and steal it out.
From our viewpoint, that ball was in the stands, but it has backspin headed back toward the field of play. Takeuchi stays with it, navigates the wall, and that short wall helped him lean over for the second out. Nice play.
If it's 10 feet farther down, that ball's in the net, but there's no net right there above the well. 2 outs recorded by Takeuchi. This ball ripped to left field. If it's high enough, it's gone. It is! Chris Akopian with a solo shot down the left field line, and Texas A&M strikes first. A 110 miles an hour off the bat. It cleared the wall by about a foot.
This is a patient Texas A&M offense, but when they go after it, they don't miss it. .450 batting average on the first pitch for the Texas A&M offense. That's top 10 in the country. Chris Akopian coming over from Maryland, where he hit .375. Stuck in the middle of this order in the 3 spot, protecting the top 2 superstars. Just a bullet down the left field line.
11th home run of the year for Chris Akopian. That's one thing that stands out in Andrew Johnson's stat line. He has given up now 13 home runs this year. Here's Nico Partita in the air to right field. Coming on and making the catch is Basir, and that ends the inning. But a good start for Texas A&M. Bubbles flying because of Chris Hakopian.
Watch how fast this barrel gets through the zone and just rip down the left field line. The Aggies take a quick 1-0 lead.
Bluebell Park with the sun setting off to our west over the Brazos Valley. Absolutely spectacular on this Sunday night in College Station. USC was held to 4 runs in a Friday night loss to Texas State. Since then, in their last 2 games, they have exploded for 34 runs. Takeuchi has been red hot. Isaac Cadena has only been retired by an opponent 1 time in this regional.
Is that any good?
Seems pretty good.
Those 4 and 5 holes for USC is a big reason they have had this explosion the last 2 games.
Texas A&M is without Aiden Sims. It was announced officially last night by head coach Michael Early. They turn to the left-hander Ethan Darden, making his 5th start of the year. He's 4-3, ERA just above 4.5.
Spent the last 3 years at Clemson where he made 32 starts. Can he mix well and back pitch against this USC offense that has scored 34 runs in the last 2 games? That means Land is off speed and hitters counts 2-0, 3-1. And does he have staying power? His long outing of the year was 3 1/3 May 16th against Mississippi State. And none bigger of a start than tonight for Ethan Darden.
Andy Stankiewicz in his 4th season as the head coach at Southern Cal. He is a Southern Cal guy, played at Pepperdine. Spent time in the big leagues, also worked with multiple big league organizations, including as a scout for the Yankees. Has led Southern Cal to regional appearances in back-to-back years for the first time since 2001 and 2002. Avery Covarrubias leading it off for Southern Cal. He grounds out to short. And a good start for Ethan Darden.
It's a big first out early in the day. Texas State couldn't keep Avery Covarrubias off the base pass. Look at the stretch by Gavin Grahovac, all SEC defender. Can play some third base, but Partita's been so good over there. They've moved Grahovac over to first, and he's pretty special over there as well.
Efficient start for Darden on the hill. Left-hander delivers a first pitch strike to Adrian Lopez. 2-3 in the lineup. Adrian Lopez and Augie Lopez have combined for 30 home runs and 96 runs batted in this year. That pitch misses for ball 1.
Ethan Darden did have a start in the SEC tournament last week against Auburn. Only went 1, gave up 4.
Lopez lines this the opposite way past the second baseman Royo, who was pulled up the middle, was trying to cover ground to get over to it. A 1-out single for Lopez. That is his 6th hit of the regional.
Pretty good by Adrian Lopez, just staying back, caught the end of the bat, finds a spot past second base. And he has had a big regional as well this weekend.
From Adrian Lopez to Augie Lopez, not related. 266 average on the year, the sophomore from Hermosa Beach. 17 home runs. Stands in with that open stance, lays the bat back as he waits on that pitch and swings through a fastball for strike one. West Virginia has forced a deciding Game 7 tomorrow in Morgantown. This pitch in the air, out toward right field. Grahovic and Keel both on the run. Neither going to get there. A one-hopper off the wall. Hitting the bag at third is Lopez. He will stop there. Sorry, I said Grahovic. That's Sorrell in center field. My apologies.
You don't see too many balls in the outfield that Caden Sorrell can't track down. And you got Keel and Wright who can flat out fly as well. But just in a perfect spot, lefty on lefty matchup for Augie Lopez. Lefty's only hitting $167 off Ethan Darden. But Augie Lopez finds a gap. And Caden Sorrell not able to get to it. And USC threatening.
Second and third with one out in the inning for Kevin Takeuchi. Made a couple of nice defensive plays in the top of the first. And he lines this one back up the middle for a base hit. Adrian Lopez will come home to score. Augie Lopez going to try. Here comes the throw, not in time, and Takeuchi takes second base. It's a two-run single. Goes to second on the throw, and USC is in front 2-1.
We already talked about Kevin Takeuchi earlier in the day, with a grand slam in the first inning and a base hit earlier. And he starts off hot still tonight. Hitting's contagious, whether it's the team or an individual, and this group is feeling pretty good about themselves with the offensive output they've had over the last couple days. Kevin Takeuchi just nice and quick back up the middle. And USC responds with two.
Takeuchi has driven in 7 runs now in the College Station Regional. And here is Isaac Cadena. Cadena 8 hits in 10 at-bats. He's driven in 4 this weekend. He's also walked 4 times and has been hit by a pitch. His on-base percentage across the first 3 games, .867. Takes that inside and is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Now 3-0 to Cadena with Jack Basir waiting on deck.
Ethan Darden is 150 points better against left-handed hitters than he is right-handers. Lefty's only hitting a $167, right-handers 318. That's because that slider is so effective. But right now, Ethan Darden having a tough time finding the feel for that slider.
There's a strike. Drops in a fastball at 91. 3-1 now to Cadena. Southern Cal 45 wins this year. They're 45-16. They were the highest rated RPI team that did not host. There's a strike and the count now full to Cadena.
And everybody's pretty thankful that USC didn't. They're 32-1 at Rod Dado Field.
Newly rebuilt after a couple of years away from their home park. USC glad to be back at home. They are the only Los Angeles team still standing in this regional. That pitch just off the plate. Cadena draws a walk once again and continues to be an on-base machine.
Well, the fans might have an argument here. If it missed, it was barely off the outside corner. Certainly high enough. And Ethan Darden's kind of wondering where it was. Kellen Livy, the home plate umpire, called it outside. That's real close.
And now Jason Kelly, the pitching coach for Texas A&M, going to go out and talk with his starter. Ethan Darden. He's got a good lather going already. I would imagine the heart rate pretty fast right now. After the leadoff ground out, single, double, single, couple of runs scored.
Yeah, I think more than that for Jason Kelly going out there knowing that he probably got one taken away from him on that pitch, just trying to calm him down. That can spiral out of control real quick if you're a pitcher being frustrated by one call. And Jason Kelly out there just to make sure he's okay mentally.
Jack Basier is the leading hitter on Southern Cal's team. 346 average on the year. He's got 10 home runs. Batting in the 6 hole. First and second with one out. That was the leadoff man here in the bottom of the first. On the ground, right side. Only play is going to be to first. Royo to Grahovac. And there are 2 away. Both runners move up 90 feet.
Royo made a tough play look real easy right there. Initially, you want to go for a double play, and a lot of times you'll see infielders force that, and that ball ends up in left center field. He's way close to the bag. That ball's spinning away from him, and he does take a look, but he gathers himself and just makes sure he gets the out. Nice, calm play by Royo, who's over there, by the way, because Chris Hakopian got in a collision down the right field line. Royo only 34 chances over there this year.
Andrew Lamb at the plate. Lamb goes after the first pitch, and that is a fair ball down the left field line. Joe Harris had to do a little two-step to get out of the way of it. That is an RBI double for Andrew Lamb, and it's 3-1 Southern Cal.
Andrew Lamb didn't play on opening night because there was a left-handed pitcher. He's been platooning a lot this year, but he proves he needs to be in there every day. The inside-out swing right down the line, scores 2 more for the Trojans. And just like earlier today, Trojans with the grand slam in the first innings put up 4. They put up 4 again, and they're not done yet.
I think I shorted USC a run there. 4-1, not 3-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. And Bear Harrison going to go out and have a conversation with Darden. You've already had the pitching coach out. Jason Kelly to talk with him. Right-hander Gavin Lyons is throwing in the bullpen for Texas A&M. You wonder sometimes about momentum, and there's some people that say, yeah, there's not really any such thing. But this Southern Cal team, when they score 19 and then 15 in consecutive games, you know they're seeing it well at the plate.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. Could the momentum continue for USC this morning when yesterday they pinned 19? And the answer is yes. Now, it can quickly come and go, but USC's been able to hold on to it. And for them to take the crowd out here early in this game is huge because we know how rowdy these Aggie fans can get.
16 pitches in this first inning, and Michael Early now coming out of the dugout. So just 2 outs recorded by the starter, Ethan Darden. And it's a slow walk, and not one that Michael Early was wanting to make this early in the ballgame. He makes the call to the bullpen, and Gavin Lyons, the right-hander, will come in. Southern Cal, 4 runs across in the bottom of the first. They lead it by 3. at least a few Trojan fans in the house representing Trojan Nation. Texas A&M has won their first 2 games in the tournament. They came from behind to win 7-5 against Lamar in the opener. And then last night, just throttled Texas State. Fell behind 2-0 and scored 17 unanswered. Gavin Lyons, big part of the reason that they were able to come from behind and win 7-5 on Friday. He settled in and pitched really well for Texas A&M.
Hasn't lost yet. Mostly out of the pen. Does have 3 starts. Gavin Lyons, low 90s fastball. But he's going to be fastball heavy. About 90% comes out of his hand is either a 4-seamer or a 2-seamer.
How about USC in the first inning across the 3 games? 4 runs here in the bottom of the first to answer the solo home run from Chris Hakopian. Going after the first pitch is Dean Carpentier, a fly ball down the right field line. Terrence Keel, the second, able to make the catch in the track to end the inning, but not before the damage is done. Couple of big hits from Takeuchi and Andrew Lamb. Bluebell Park in College Station, Texas. They're ready to saw them off. Jake Dewar, Bear Harrison, Ben Royo for the Aggies here in the top of the second inning. First pitch to Dewar is in for a strike. Andrew Johnson delivers low for ball 1. Texas A&M got the scoring started with a solo home run from Chris Hakopian in the top of the first inning. That was with 2 outs, yanked it down the left field line. But Southern Cal, a big answer.
This was Jake Dewar yesterday on the slider. Left center, deepest part of the ballpark, gets out of here. A&M with an offensive explosion, a lot like we've seen from USC yesterday. 17 runs against Lamar.
Dewar late on the fastball there. Behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 10 relief appearances, 11th start of the year for Andrew Johnson. This one on the ground, left side. Takeuchi gets to it, unloads across the diamond in time. That is 3 magnificent defensive plays that we have seen from Takeuchi at third base.
That's so good. It's one thing to glove that ball. The other one is to get up quick enough and have a strong enough arm to be accurate and get Jake Dewar at first base. Just under control, perfect throw. We've seen Takeuchi play outfield. He's holding down the third base position, and man, can he swing the bat.
Rocket off the bat at 100 miles an hour there from Jake Dewar. Here is Bear Harrison, the catcher for Texas A&M. 11 home runs on the year, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner. $100 miles or so down the road. Texas leading Santa Barbara 6-4. Santa Barbara batting with runners at the corners in the bottom of the ninth and 1 out. They need 2 runs to force extra innings, 3 to win it. Harrison takes high, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sorry, that 1 and 2 to Harrison. That one just off the plate. That's a good take by Bear Harrison.
Well, that's what he does. I mean, really careful around the plate. Only 17% strikeouts to plate appearances. He chases 19% of the time of his swings. He's very aware of the strike zone.
That one up and in, and it hits Bear Harrison. Looked like on the hand. That'll be a 1-out base runner for Texas A&M.
That'll be 31 games in a row Bear Harrison has reached base. Just takes one right off the hand. He has that pad there. It probably kept him from having some broken fingers.
Ooh, knocked that pad loose. 22nd time this year that Bear Harrison has been hit by a pitch. That's probably the reason that he wears that pad on the wrist. Here's a strike to Ben Royo. Aggies fans know this story. Ben Royo, well-traveled senior that had not played a lot. In fact, did not have a hit all season long until the next to last weekend of the regular season. Austin Kellner was hit by a pitch in the face, right around the brim of the helmet. Forced Ben Royo into action. And in a doubleheader in Oxford against Ole Miss, he went 7 for 7 with 3 home runs. Those were his first 7 hits of the season.
Pretty strong.
That was in week 13.
And he didn't play for a month and a half, from middle of March to May 8th. But he has been red hot since then.
2 balls and a strike to Royo. This one misses outside. Trying to nibble on the outside corner against right-handed hitters with that breaking ball. And there's a strike and the count full now to Ben Royo.
Well, that's a quality strike, too. Everybody in the ballpark knows a fastball is coming, and if he puts it out of the middle of the plate, Royal's going to get it, puts it right on the outside low black for strike 2.
Bear Harrison, not a huge threat to run. He's got 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts this year, but unless you're just trying to get him moving with the pitch. This ball hit left side. That's under the glove of Carpentier at short. Royo with a base hit, first and second for Texas A&M, with Terrence Keel coming to the plate.
And Royo continues the heater. It's the fastball 3-2 out over the plate, rips it past Carpentier at short. First and second with 1 out for the Aggies.
Terrence Keel, the second, comes to the plate. Drew a start in last night's game in right field. He's there again tonight after Jordan Wilson started in Friday's game. Pitch misses away for ball 1.
And you're right, it does feel like Andrew Johnson's trying to be a little too perfect. And when you're not getting the calls, you can kind of spin you a little bit mentally, where the only option you feel like you have is to split the plate. And that's not something Andrew Johnson wants to do in this ballpark.
Entire infield on the mound. This College Station Regional is paired with the Chapel Hill Regional. North Carolina, a win earlier today over East Carolina. They will host next weekend. So either Texas A&M or Southern Cal will visit, as Mike Monaco has dubbed it, Chapel Thrill. Ball and a strike to Keel. Gets that one well down the right field line, but well out of play, down onto the berm.
Terrence Keel obviously looking the other way. That's when Andrew Johnson, if he has that fastball middle in, that'll work. Terrence Keel staying back on the off speed and can cover that outside fastball.
Behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. Just outside, and the count evens at 2-2.
You see Terrence Keel leaning his upper half over the plate as well, so it's an indication that the last pitch he's looking for is middle in.
Just outside again. So you say bust him in with a fastball?
Well, now it's tough. 3-2, you don't want to hit him, and you don't want to throw ball 4.
Chopper to short, chance for 2. The throw to first, not in time. Keel can really run down the line. A little bit of a slow exchange in the middle of the infield. Keel reaches on the fielder's choice. Harrison goes to third. Royo out at second.
Always get one out on a double play opportunity. Carpentier, only 2 errors and 179 chances, so he's going to glove it. A little awkward dart throw over to second base, but they weren't going to get the speedy Keel no matter what.
Now we go to the 9-hole, and Boston Kellner, the freshman shortstop. Harrison at third. You see the cage on the front of the helmet for Kellner. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it into the seats. So when he was hit by that pitch, it kind of caught the brim of the helmet, and the ball hit right along the edge of his eye. And he had a partially fractured orbital bone. He wears this, and you'll see a mask to protect that eye socket when he is fielding at second base. Looks a little bit like a Phantom of the Opera mask.
Defensively. And then anybody that wears a mask at the plate like that, you know there's something going on in the face. Yeah, the orbital bone, basically the eye socket, and he's just protecting and playing with it the way it is.
They ran him through concussion protocol, and remarkably, no concussion symptoms there. He missed the 2 games in the doubleheader, but returned the next week, final week of the regular season, when Texas A&M played Mississippi State.
Terrence Keel, 10 for 11 on stolen bases, led the team in stolen bases last year with 12. And I would imagine they want to clear the lineup. Boston Kellner, the 9-hole, but if Kellner gets behind, they may try to steal second base, and you're taught as a base stealer with 2 outs to hold up before you get to second, allow the runner at third to get to home, and if they don't throw 2, you just go on into second. So they may try that if Boston Kellner gets to 2 strikes.
He does get to 2 strikes. 0-2 now to the shortstop, 9-hole hitter for Texas A&M. Running the first for the Aggies. It was a solo home run from Chris Hakopian. SC picked up 4 in the bottom of the first. Another throw over, and Keel gets back in safely. The 0-2 from Johnson. Runner was going, and it's fouled back.
The other thing, too, is it's more likely that you're going to get off speed because Andrew Johnson's going for the swing and miss. So gives Keel over at first base a little more time to steal.
So we'll do it again. Keel at first, but he'll step back to the bag. "25th pitch of the inning. There goes Keel, swing and a miss. That's a strike out to end the inning. So Andrew Johnson able to get the strikeout. 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the second.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
11 days from now, it all begins. The Men's College World Series in Omaha. 3 teams are one step closer. Georgia winning the Athens Regional, North Carolina the Chapel Hill Regional, and Texas the Austin Regional. This College Station Regional paired with Chapel Hill, so the winner between Texas A&M and Southern Cal. Southern Cal would have to beat the Aggies twice. We'll head to Chapel Hill next weekend. That'll be a great scene at the Bosch. This ball hit one hopper to second base, knocked down by Royo. He'll barehand it and decide not to throw. Hot shot off the bat of Walter Urban, and kind of an in-between hop there for Royo.
Yeah, but the only thing you can do is let it kind of hit you in the chest and drop straight down. Instead, Royo tries to go out and get it, which is not wrong. As an infielder, that short hop, you need to go out and get it or it'll eat you alive. But on the right side of the infield, you have the luxury of knocking it down and making a play. He just knocked it down a little too far out in front.
So an infield single for Walter Urban. And we go back to the top of the order, and Avery Covarrubias. Really aggressive early in the count for Southern Cal so far.
Well, Gavin Lyons is fastball heavy, and he's fairly accurate, especially early in the count, so that would make sense. The other part of it is Gavin Lyons is not an overpowering strikeout pitcher, so if you did get to 2 strikes, you know, you're less likely to get buried. So you can see some pitches, and you have options. Gavin Lyons only 55 strikeouts and 67 in the third. And that's how we used to do it back before video, is you'd look at the stat sheet. If he had more strikeouts than innings pitched, I knew to go early because he had something that could get you on strike 3. But if it was less strikeouts than innings pitched, you knew you could wait around.
Pitch misses for ball 1. Only 1 stolen base for Walter Urban all season long.
Pitch called below the knees.
There's a strike. Previous one possibly outside.
I think that one crossed.
Ball and 2 strikes to Covarrubias. And he gets a piece of that to stay alive at the plate.
But you see Gavin Lyons at least making an effort to keep the ball low. Again, this ballpark gives up more home runs combined than any other ballpark in the SEC. And you get the ball up and you can get in trouble.
Oklahoma leading Georgia Tech 13-8 in Atlanta. The #1 overall seed has already been eliminated from the field. Oklahoma trying to force a deciding Game 7 tomorrow. Again, Covarrubias gets a piece of it to stay alive. How about in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where you've got Little Rock with a 2-0 lead early in that ball game. Little Rock tried to go 3-0 in the Hattiesburg Regional and advance to a Super Regional. That one is paired with Gainesville.
Little Rock's a perfect example of being hot at the right time. They lost their last series to Southeast Missouri State, got swept, then won 6 of 7 in the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament, and 2 in a row into tonight. Chris Curry doing a fantastic job over there at Little Rock, who took LSU last year to the regional final on Monday. And LSU goes on to win the national championship. So Little Rock making a run these last few years.
Jacksonville State beat Virginia earlier today to advance to the regional final. So it's Jacksonville State and Little Rock in Hattiesburg for a spot in a Super Regional.
Jacksonville State, another mid-major, walked into Auburn, beat them 15-4 in their own backyard. They can swing it.
All in 2 strikes. Covarrubias hanging tough at the plate, and another one fouled away. Urban led the inning off with the single. He's been standing over at first base for a while. This pitch way outside. And the count just now to 2-2. Already 4 foul balls in this at-bat from Covarrubias. The 8th pitch of the at-bat hit high into the air. Shallow center field. Sorrell coming in. He'll make the catch, and Gavin Lyons wins that battle.
Gavin Lyons trying to keep the ball low and keep the ball on the ground. That one gets up a little bit, just barely under it for Avery Covarrubias. Now he's got to navigate through 2, 3, 4 in this USC lineup, all 3 of which have been red hot in this tournament.
Adrian Lopez singled and scored. Part of the 4 runs that came across for SC in the bottom of the first. Lopez singled, and then Augie Lopez behind him doubled. You got the 2-run single from Takeuchi and then a 2-run double from Andrew Lamb to drive in 4 in the first. Only run from Texas A&M so far, the solo home run from Chris Hakopian. Adrian Lopez in a hole behind 0-2.
Good movement by the fastball, Gavin Lyons. That's why you're seeing a lot of foul balls. As a hitter, you see it in one spot. When you go after it, it ends up in another.
'28th appearance of the year for Gavin Lyons. He started 3 games, so primarily a bullpen arm. He threw 52 pitches in 4 innings of relief on Friday, gave up a couple of hits and 1 run. He gets a called strike 3 there. Lopez goes away looking. That's the first strikeout from Gavin Lyons since entering.
Just surprised him. Right about the time that Adrian Lopez is looking for something off speed, Gavin Lyons burns him with a fastball. And mentally as a hitter, if you're looking off speed, it makes the fastball that much faster when you see it. And Adrian Lopez can't pull the trigger.
Here's Augie Lopez, who kind of split the gap between Sorrell and Keel out in right field. And his first at bat goes after the first pitch here, swings through the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Going to be another late Sunday, or another late Sunday night here in College Station, approaching 9 o'clock local time, and we are in the bottom of the second. Two and one now to Augie Lopez. Lopez, the sophomore from Hermosa Beach, California, played at Loyola High School. He's got that open stance, just kind of lays the bat off until he's ready to swing. 3-1.
Yeah, but it gets into position, and then clearly when you see those kids that do that, you think, why don't you start, where you end up before the pitch is coming? And the answer is, you want to be comfortable when you start, and obviously for Augie, that's the spot that makes him feel most comfortable. But he does get into position before he has to attack.
And he rips this one to right field. It's deep. If it's fair, it is gone, but it is not fair. It is foul. First base umpire Connor Hoagland straddling the line and watching that one hook foul down the right field line.
Great eyes, too, because that was over the top of that foul pole.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Augie Lopez. He hit that one a ton, just out in front. Urban will be going with the pitch. 3-2, 2 down. And we'll do it again.
Pretty good middle in. Gavin Lyons, Augie Lopez staying through it after that long foul home run.
SC grinding out at bats. Here's the 7th pitch. This plate appearance. And we'll have an 8th. So you had Covarrubias that had a 9-pitch at bat before flying out. And now an 8-pitch at bat here for Augie Lopez.
Well, Gavin Lyons, guys, good movement on the fastball, but also he's locating well. Went in on Augie Lopez, and now he moved away. And you're having to adjust your sights if you're Augie Lopez.
Three-two once again. There goes Urban. And that pitch misses for ball 4. A good at bat for Augie Lopez. He's been on base both times, and that will get it to the hot Kevin Takeuchi.
Well, Gavin Lyons was not going to miss up in the zone, so instead he misses too low. That was a professional at bat for Augie Lopez.
That went across what? Somewhere between the ankles and mid-shin. Takeuchi with the 2-run single in his first at bat. He bats here with runners at first and second and 2 down. And he goes after the first pitch, hits it to the third baseman, Partita. Boy, played that beautifully.
Fantastic.
Came and he got the short hop, throws across his body, and the Trojans strand the pair.
Arroyo tried to do that earlier. How about Partita? They think he's special at third base, and you see why. Go out and get it. What a nice play by Partita and get the Aggies off the field.
The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites is available on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home of all NCAA championships. Alongside Todd Walker and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Richard Cross. Glad to be with you from College Station, Texas. Breaking ball, first pitch strike to Gavin Grahovac, leading off for the Aggies in the top of the third. Lined out. He hit a rocket to Takeuchi at third base to start the game. Fouls this one off, and he's behind. No balls and 2 strikes quickly.
Pretty good sign for Andrew Johnson, landing the off speed for strike 1. They know that Gavin Grahovac loves to go after the first pitch. He did that in this tournament already. First pitch over center field wall.
Sends this one down toward the right field corner. Basir going to pick it up. He gets it back in quickly and holds Grahovac to a single, but a leadoff man for the first time in the game on base.
Hitters just get hits. I mean, look how high that pitch is. Gavin Grohovac gets the hands up, gets the barrel to the level of the baseball, and drives it to right field. Didn't even look like he took a full swing, and that's 97 miles an hour off the bat to right field.
And now Caden Sorrell to the plate. Sorrell fouled out his first time up. That was when Takeuchi made the play up against the wall, kind of reaching over. First pitch strike there to Caden Sorrell.
Gavin Grohovac and this kid, Caden Sorrell, are only one of two sets of teammates in the country with 15-plus home runs and 70-plus RBIs. Georgia Tech has a combo of Ryan Zuckerman and Vaughn Lackey. But Gavin Grohovac and Caden Sorrell doing a lot of the damage for this offense.
Stays alive at the plate as he fouls that one over the grandstand roof. Grohovac, 5 of 7 on the year in stolen bases, leading base stealers for Texas A&M. Caden Sorrell and Terrence Keel, both with 10 bags on the year. This one out into center field. Urban going back to the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch, and then the ball comes out. They're going to say it is not a catch, and now the ball will come to second base for a force out there. Urban had the ball in his glove. He went into the wall and it popped out, and our third base umpire, Kellen Levy, who was headed out to the outfield, gave the signal no catch as the ball came out.
Well, first of all, they'd rather Gavin Grohovac be on base than Caden Sorrell. And I think that's what Andy's out arguing. He made the catch, and it seemed like he was trying to pull it out of his glove when he dropped it to throw it in. Great play out center field by Urban. He makes the catch, knocks into the wall, and as he's grabbing for it is when he drops it.
He held it through the collision with the wall.
Caden Sorrell can fly. So if it's up to USC, they'd rather have Gavin Grohovac at first base.
Umpiring crew discussing this. Catch, no catch is one of the reviewable plays, and the umpires at their discretion can go to a crew chief review.
USC is challenging the call of no catch in the outfield. Previous plays under review.
So this is actually a USC challenge. Let me ask you, does that make sense to you? You've got two challenges. If you're correct, you retain them. If you are not correct, the call isn't overturned, then you lose a challenge. You've got an out either way. Is Grohovac versus Sorrell on base that big a deal?
It is with no outs. I would say with 2 outs, it's a little different. And otherwise, Andy Stankiewicz wouldn't be making a big deal about it, but that's the only reason you would, because clearly the out was made at second base.
Which would have been the force out to retire Grohovac, and Sorrell would be at first base.
If they ruled it a drop ball, but I don't see how they can. I mean, Urban was literally trying to pull it out after he made a couple steps with the catch. Hit the wall.
So you've got clear catch, 1 step,
2, 3,
second step, and then crashes into the wall, and you can see he's reaching in still with control in the glove, and it's when he tries to make the exchange that it appears the ball comes out. You get a peek inside the NCAA Replay Operations Center. They are housed in Pittsburgh, and they have every game on the screens. It's like squeeze play with higher stakes.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Speaking of squeeze play, Kansas leads Arkansas 13-10 in the bottom of the ninth inning. Kansas 1 out away from advancing to a super regional.
And that's pretty impressive. You don't usually see first-time hosts that are able to win their regional. Just too much going on with Dan Fitzgerald. Under Jay Johnson, makes the move to head coach at Kansas, and what a job he's done.
Lawrence, smaller ballpark. They just this week, maybe in the last couple of weeks, took out part of the fence and they replaced it with a coated chain link fence and created what they called the backyard beyond the left field wall so that they could put another several hundred fans there. It's been a tough ticket in Lawrence.
Well, they're having a hard time figuring this one out, but
it's not just 1 out away. It is now the Kansas Jayhawks advancing to a super regional, hosting in Lawrence for the first time ever. They will send the Razorbacks into their summer plans.
and congratulations. Now you get the Atlanta regional winner with Georgia Tech.
Or will it be?
That's why I said Atlanta regional.
Yeah.
Could be anybody, but
Those two are paired up. If Oklahoma were to win that regional, you could have the Kansas Jayhawks at home for a potentially second weekend in a row. All right, this one took a while. Let's see what resolution we get from our umpiring crew. We know there's going to be a runner at first with one out regardless. We just don't know who that runner is going to be.
After review, the call on the field is overturned to catch. He's out. The runner who was originally at first base will stay at first base. USC retains their challenge and has two.
All right, so that goes back to what you were talking about, the difference in Caden Sorrell, who is tied for the team lead in stolen bases and can absolutely fly.
yeah, but it's more than stolen bases. It's a ball in the gap with the runner at first. And not that Gavin Grohovic can't move. It's just that Caden Sorrell is one of the best.
I think the thing that Andy Stankiewicz wants to know is, hold on a second. If you're calling that a catch and the ball came back in and we tagged out the runner at second base, why is it not a double play? I don't know that he liked the explanation he got, but Andy Stankiewicz, in his fourth year as the head coach at SC, goes back to the dugout.
Well, once you see the umpire signal that it's a no catch, then Gavin Grohovic is going to try to get to second base. So
Absolutely.
That's not fair either. So here we go.
Grohovic dives back in safely. So you can score at F8. Fly ball to center field and a good play by Urban for the first out of the inning. And now a hopper to third and a chance for two. To second for one. To first. Double play. 5-4-3. Grohovic and Hakopian are erased. And it took a long time to record those three outs. But we only had three hitters come to the plate. Michael Early will join us next. 4-1 our score. SC in front of Texas A&M as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Michael Early's the head coach of Texas A&M in his second season. And, Coach, you may have had to go to the bullpen earlier than you would have liked. What have you seen from Gavin Lyons so far?
Yeah, he's being competitive throwing strikes. We just got to, these guys were on the barrel early on. We just got to limit some damage and keep him off base.
How much can you get out of him after him having thrown 50-ish pitches just a couple of nights ago?
Yeah, we'll just kind of see how he looks. He has that ability to really bounce back. He's thrown a lot, twice in a weekend all year. So I don't know if it's with the arm slot or whatever, but he has a really good ability to bounce back.
Michael, we know how powerful your offense is. 3 hits tonight. What do you think it's going to take to get to Andrew Johnson?
Yeah, I think we've been hitting the ball hard. We just got to find some holes. And, I like our at-bats right now, and I think we just got to get through him one more time, and I think we're going to be all over him.
Michael, thanks for your time. Michael Early. Talk to us about the relationship that exists with players and how that relationship changes as you go from assistant coach to head coach. He said sometimes as an assistant coach, there's kind of a friendship that goes along there because you've recruited these guys, you're around them all the time, and you're not kind of the final authority figure. Said he's been able to transition into that head coach role largely because of the veterans, particularly Grahovac and Sorrell. They've allowed that to happen and kind of led the way with the other players.
Well, and he's been around a lot of great programs. Been the A&M assistant since 22. They went to the College World Series that year. Also 24, went to the final against Tennessee. He was assistant at Arizona State for 5 years. So Michael Early's battled a lot. They were the #1 preseason team last year. Had some injuries, including Gavin Grahovac. Didn't play out that way, and so now in his second year, he's brought this team to a regional and a host.
Isaac Cadena rips that one fair down the right field line, just past the first base bag. It kicks all the way into the corner. 2 more successful at-bats tonight for Isaac Cadena. A walk with a run scored back in the first inning and a leadoff double here.
Nobody can get this kid out. 3 hits earlier today, a walk back in the first, and just a rip down the right field line. Isaac Cadena hitting out of the 5 spot for USC. Keeps the train moving. Nine for 11 in this regional.
Against Texas State in USC's first game, he was 2 for 3. Yesterday against Lamar, he was 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored. Earlier today against Texas State, Cadena was 3 for 4.
And then to your point, he struck out earlier today, but got past the catcher and he got to first.
It's a strikeout, wild pitch, reached safely.
Even when they got him, they didn't get him.
That's already the 4th double of this game by SC.
Yeah, well, they're swinging the bats well, and when they decide to go after it, they don't miss it. Only 1 strikeout tonight so far in this Trojan offense. They hit 279 during the course of the year, so they weren't overpowering offensive. They do have 85 home runs, but this tournament, it's been a different show.
After getting rocked in the regional opener, Auburn has forced a deciding Game 7 tomorrow at Plainsman Park. They beat UCF 9-3. Big crowd here at Bluebell Park that has had to be quiet so far. They've tried to get into it a couple of times. Exploded early with the Hacopian home run. Basier showed bunt, pulled back, hits it right side. Royo can't handle it. There's a turn at third, but Cadena is going to stay put. Basier with an infield single.
Well, Royo was holding on the runner at second base, so he had to make a long run to his left. Gets down, can't glove it, gets away from him, and can't find it. But still able to keep Cadena at third base.
And I think he went palm first on that gritty dirt on the infield. He's trying to wipe some of the dirt off what would be his throwing hand. SC leading at 4-1. They've got runners at the corners with nobody out, and Andrew Lamb at the plate. He had a 2-run double his first time up. And now Michael Early making a trip back out to the mound. We just talked to him about Gavin Lyons and how deep he might be able to go in this game. Looks like Cooper Powell is about to come into this game. They got the PitchCom system put into his hat, and we're just waiting on the official signal to the bullpen. And there it is. So Cooper Powell coming in. Gavin Lyons is headed out. 4-1, Trojans in front. Welcome back to NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. College Station, massive undergraduate student body here at Texas A&M. Classes are over, don't have everybody back on campus for summer. This whole Bryan College Station area exploding with growth. Cooper Powell, the left-hander, sophomore, 5'11", 185 from Bedford, Texas, making his 10th appearance of the year, but they have been short outings.
Small sample size for Cooper Powell. $167 against left-handers, $150 against right-handers. And a fastball slider to the left-handed hitters. Going to be facing one right here in Andrew Lamb. Fastball changed to right. Pretty good whiff rate on the fastball, about 40%.
Leadoff double from Isaac Cadena. Jack Basier followed it up with an infield single, and now Andrew Lamb steps in to face a new pitcher, the left-hander Cooper Powell. And it's a first pitch strike to Andrew Lamb. Lamb, the son of MLB veteran Mike Lamb. He's got 4 hits and has driven in 6 in the regional. Including 2 earlier in this game. This ball smothered by Harrison, quickly able to find it. Basier stays put at first base. Well, you can feel the nerves in this ballpark right now. Obviously, Southern Cal's got to beat Texas A&M twice, but It is tense early, the 2-1. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Well, that's the benefit of scoring early. 4 runs in the first for the Trojans, and that quieted the crowd, and they haven't had much to cheer for since. I do like what Michael Early said. They only have 3 hits to the Aggies, but they have hit some balls hard that were out, so he feels like it's a matter of time before they get to Andrew Johnson.
Fans wanted strike 3 there. They did not get the call, a full count. And Michael Early over in the A&M dugout, frustrated.
They caught the plate, so home plate umpire Kellen Levy calls it low.
And this ball hit high and deep, and it is way out of Bluebell Park. Absolutely crushed by Andrew Lamb, his 12th home run of the year. That's a 3-run shot. And it's now 7-1.
Just don't know if you can slow this offense down. 34 runs in the last 2 games, another 7 through this one so far, and we're still early. Andrew Lamb, 2 hits in a row off left-handers. This one, a long shot to right field.
Lamb has driven in 5 of the 7 runs so far for SC. And the Trojans right now are absolutely rolling offensively. Dean Carpentier hits this one in the air to center field. Sorrell makes the catch, 1 away.
Andrew Lamb did a nice job of laying off a couple sliders and then just guessed right on the fastball. Powell had missed low once, tried to keep it low, but low and in on a left-handed hitter. And he just buries the barrel down on it. Good launch angle on that swing, and it's way gone.
Oh, is that bubbles from the USC crowd? Okay. All in good fun. Top of the order. Excuse me, Walter Urban in the 9-hole, then top of the order. And Urban takes strike 1. Ball and a strike. Texas A&M had their biggest come-from-behind victory of the season on Friday night when they trailed 5-0. Came back and won that game against Lamar 7-5. They're going to have another biggest comeback of the season. They're going to emerge victorious tonight, trailing by 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Strike 3 called. Urban goes away looking for the 2nd out of the inning. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. I guess that'd be a way for Andrew to watch his dad, Mike, if he was still playing.
Nice.
It might be the way that Mike is watching Andrew at some point in the future. Foul tip, strike 1 to Avery Covarrubias. 0 for 2 in the leadoff spot tonight. Ground out and a fly out for Covarrubias. Came into this game hitting .455 for the regional, 5 hits in 11 at bats, so he's now 5 for 13. Swings through the fastball there at 94 from Cooper Powell. It's 0-2. Called strike 3. Covarrubias goes away looking. He is 0 for 3. Andrew Lamb is not. Andrew Lamb is 2 for 2 with 5 driven in and a monster shot.
Boy, did he put a charge into this one. Low and in. Bend the legs, young man. Get after it. USC up 7-1.
Seven to 1, Southern Cal in front of Texas A&M. We are in the top of the 4th inning. Andy Stankiewicz joins us now in his 4th year as the head coach at SC, and coach, an offensive explosion. Little trouble scoring in that very first game on Friday night, but since then it has been impressive.
Yeah, boys are putting some good swings on. You guys know we got a long way to go. This is a ball club that can really swing the bat. So, but yeah, no, just use the middle of the field, and when the ball gets inside, you work inside it, you get some good ball flight. A lot of good things could happen. That ball that Lamb hit, that was a pretty nice AB right there. And
then Andy, your guy on the man, Andrew Johnson. I mean, he's faced a pretty good lineup here. What have you seen from him?
We'll see what we got. He came out of the bullpen 2 days ago, but he's a gutsy young man. He throws strikes. He's always been able to do that for us, and I think that's what's most important is just we got to continue to make plays behind him, and so far we have. And so we just got to be really on top, on red alert from the defense side of it. So, but Andrew's a fighter. He's a competitor. He's going to give us everything he's got tonight.
Coach, I know we need to let you go, but just a quick word about the defense of Takeuchi at third base.
Yeah, you know, this young man's played just about everywhere for us. He's like your Swiss Army knife. Those guys are so valuable. He's quick, he's athletic, he's just a great little athlete over there, and the fact that the versatility has been what's been key for us with him.
Appreciate your time.
Okay, guys, you're welcome. Thank you.
Andy Stankiewicz, 4th year, and he has done an incredible job.
Amazing. Inherited a team that finished last in the Pac-12 in 2022. They were 4th in the conference the next 2 years, and then last year made the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015. And then this year, of course, ranked as high as number 12 in the country. Started 19-0. That tied a program record for wins. And the first 40-win season since 2005 for Andy Stankiewicz.
.50 pitches now from Andrew Johnson in this game. It was an interesting reaction when you asked him about his pitcher. It was just a recognition of it's a really good offense, and we'll see how deep he can get. Urban squeezes it out in center field. Nico Partita retired.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around, but I think at this point for Andrew Johnson, you can start trying to pitch to contract, meaning early strikes. Don't have to try to trick anybody by throwing off speed and hitters counts. At this point, get strike one and use your fastball more often than you would otherwise.
Jake Dewar, he hits this one high into the air to center field. Urban going back, he gets to the track, and he makes the catch up against the wall. That was about 2 feet short of a solo home run for Jake Dewar. Instead, it's a long out.
During the day, that's a homer. But we're not playing during the day. The wind has died down to basically still, and that ball was crushed. But how about Urban in center field? Made the play earlier in this game. And then the hardest part about that play is knowing where the wall is. He knows he's on the track, so he's close. Comes up and makes the play for the second out.
This game is just the 13th start of the year for Walter Urban. 4 of those have come this weekend. He couldn't look any more comfortable on the field.
Isn't that amazing? Hitting .411 coming into this game with 3 home runs and 11 starts.
Bear Harrison with 2 outs and the bases empty. Takes strike 2.
He was
behind in the count.
He was a top 10 prospect out of California last year, so it doesn't come out of nowhere. But he is a freshman on a team that's older. Only freshman in the lineup.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Bear Harrison. Hit by a pitch in that left wrist in the pad that he's got covering his left hand. His first time up. Check swing. Harrison able to hold up. Looks like Mississippi State is on its way to a super regional. They lead the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana 13-3 in the 7th inning in Starkville. Starkville Regional paired with the Athens, Georgia Regional. Those 2 teams have already played 4 times this year. Georgia swept Mississippi State in the regular season and beat them, eliminated them from the SEC tournament. Harrison fouls it back. Florida State and Northern Illinois are in extra innings. Harrison out in front, pulls it foul. Florida State has scored 3 in the top of the 10th to take a 7-4 lead over Northern Illinois. That's an elimination game in Tallahassee. How about a rivalry game in the state of Oregon? Oregon and Oregon State tied at 1 in Eugene. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. Oregon 2-0. And so a win over their in-state rival, even though they're no longer conference mates, would send the Ducks to a super regional. What a good at bat by Bear Harrison. He's been on base now twice.
Yeah, he's got elite command of the zone. More walks than strikeouts. And with 2 outs, Aggies have a little bit of life.
Ben Royo singled his first time up. 3 home runs, 8 driven in on the year. Average well over 400. He goes about 3/4 of the way around there. Out in Los Angeles, Cal Poly and St. Mary's playing in the regional final. Cal Poly 2-0 through their first 2 games. So St. Mary's, who knocked out UCLA earlier today, would have to beat Cal Poly twice.
What a showing by Cal Poly out there. Outscored their opponents 20-3 in 2 games. St. Mary and Virginia Tech.
Hop back line drive out into left field for Ben Royo. A lot of top spin on that one, and the Aggies have first and second with 2 down in the inning, trying to keep it going.
Yeah, there's just no weak outs in this Aggie lineup. Ball's slider on the outside corner, not bad. A little up in the zone. Ben Royo keeps that fat head on plane as long as possible and rips it into left field. 2 quick outs for the Aggies. Now they got 2 guys on for Terrence Keel.
A loud out from Jake Dewar, just missed a solo home run. Bear Harrison drew the walk, Ben Royo with a single, and now Terrence Keel. Keel hits this one high into the air. Not going to carry deep enough, though, to matter. That's a fly out to center field. Aggies strand a couple. It's 7-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Welcome to Squeeze Play. All the highlights, all the big moments.
You got a chance to have some big-time fireworks.
6 to 8 games on the screen at one time.
You're going to be locked in for that.
The season on the line.
Hashtag Squeeze Play. Send us some tweets. Maybe we'll put you on the social wall.
The storybook season will continue.
If you have not been locked in on Squeeze Play this weekend, shame on you. 1, you've missed out. 2, but it's not too late because there's more baseball coming your way tomorrow. You got it going right now. Scan the QR code. It'll take you right there. Ground ball left side, and that one just ate up the shortstop there, and that's the leadoff man on base for SC once again. Kellner was low, and he tried to kind of backhand it, and it just, I think it went right up his arm and kicked over his head.
Yeah, the ball kind of ate up Kellner. No real movement with the feet going forward, just kind of moved to his right side laterally. And even if he made that play or gloved it, didn't have his feet under him and any momentum to make that throw, and just ate him alive. 15th error for Kellner on the year.
So Adrian Lopez reaches on the E6. And Augie Lopez comes to the plate. He's got a double and a walk. This ball into the air out into left center field. Sorrell on the run to the warning track, and it's gone. That ball just kept carrying for Augie Lopez. He hits a 2-run home run, and it's now 9-1 Trojans.
The ball carries everywhere in this ballpark, but right and left center is when it feels like it carries the most. We've seen a handful of home runs hit right in that spot. And Augie Lopez goes down and gets it. Backspin on that baseball allows it to travel. Wow. 9 runs, 43 runs by the USC in the last 2 games and 4 innings. Incredible.
They are locked in at the plate right now, and that includes this guy, Kevin Takeuchi. Takeuchi takes a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Off the bat, did you think that one had a chance?
I was watching Sorrell in center field kind of glide after it, and again, it just seems like the combination of getting it, you know, with some trajectory up in the outfield with some pump behind it and backspin, just those balls go out, man. And you know, the best thing that USC has done is they've taken the crowd completely out of this game. Because this is one spot where this group can make a big difference.
You've seen it over and over and over in the postseason in the last 4 regionals, including this year that have been hosted by Texas A&M. They've won 14 straight.
So look at that. Most combined home runs per game in the SEC ballparks is right here at Olsen Field. The most home runs hit is out there in Athens, and clearly that has a lot to do with the talent that plays here at home and over in Georgia, but it is a ballpark you love to hit in. And the Aggie fans just stunned.
Stunned silence right now at Bluebell. Takeuchi awaits the 1-2. That's a swing and a miss. Good fastball there at 95 from Cooper Powell. First out of the inning.
Usually when you see a pitcher, their biggest swing and miss pitch is off speed. For Cooper Powell, it's his fastball, about 40%. And we've seen him freeze up a couple of hitters. And when the hitters know it's coming, they still have a hard time hitting it. Hides it well. Got late life to it.
Isaac Cadena walked and scored in the first, doubled and scored in the third.
What a big blow for Texas A&M not having their ace, Aiden Sims. Weston Moss was fantastic yesterday. Texas A&M won game 1 on Friday night. And imagine a scenario where they had him tonight or Weston Moss.
If you had gone with Aiden Sims earlier in the weekend, sure.
Yeah.
Weston Moss last night was terrific, career high 10 strikeouts. Got into the 7th inning. Strike there to Cadena. He's behind in the count 1-2.
That's part of the deal when you're going to win championships. You got to stay healthy. Got to have the talent, got to have people do what you don't expect them to do, and a little bit of good fortune. And you lose your ace, it's going to be tough.
Just outside. Swing and a miss, and that is a rare feat right there. A strikeout of Isaac Cadena. There's nobody in this tournament field that has been more difficult to get out this weekend. Back-to-back strikeouts from Cooper Powell.
4 strikeouts in the last 6 hitters. Sandwiched by an error by the shortstop and a home run, but Cooper Powell just blowing it by these USC hitters.
High fly ball, shallow center field. Sorrell has to wait for a while for this one to come down. He's able to squeeze it for the final out into the inning. And now Texas A&M will come back and they take their turn to swing it in the 5th. Got to try and find some offense against Andrew Johnson and this SC pitching staff.
It shouldn't be too hard. Texas A&M, 9 runs a game. And that's through the course of the season, and that's through the SEC. Best run production team in the SEC is Texas A&M Aggies. Best offense is Georgia. But
9 runs, 9 hits, no errors so far for SC. A run on 4 hits and an error for the Aggies of Texas A&M. Big crowd looking for something to cheer about here at Bluebell Park. Thank you, Kevin. What a scene in Oklahoma City. What a game and what a win for Texas Tech to eliminate UCLA, the second Diamond Sports team of the day from UCLA to be eliminated with the #1 overall seed in the NCAA Men's Baseball Championship going down at home earlier today. We are in College Station where Texas A&M and UCSC are playing in a regional final. SC's got to beat Texas A&M twice. A big home run from Andrew Lamb in the 3rd inning extended the lead for SC, and then Augie Lopez with his 18th home run of the year hit it to left center field. That made it 9-1.
That's 43 runs by the USC Trojans in the last 2 games and 4 innings. I mean, they are red hot. When you start hearing that hitting's contagious, it's all happening right here in College Station for USC.
Alongside the former 2-time All-American at LSU and 12-year big leaguer Todd Walker, I'm Richard Cross. We welcome you to Bluebell Park in College Station, Texas. One of the great venues in all of college baseball. And yet they have been taken out of it tonight. 9 runs and 9 hits for SC, a run, 4 hits, and an error for the Aggies. The starter for Texas A&M, Ethan Darden, lasted just 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 4 runs. All of them were earned. He was followed by Gavin Lyons and now Cooper Powell on the mound. On the other side, Andrew Johnson, Through 4 innings has allowed just 4 hits. The one run was a solo home run in the top of the first for Chris Hakopian. And that is where we stand. SC trying to force a deciding Game 7 tomorrow here in College Station. And at least for now, well on their way to doing so.
Texas A&M already on their 3rd pitcher. And Andrew Johnson, the starter for USC, still out there. And just blows it by Boston Kellner.
Strikeout of Kellner to start the 5th, and that takes us back to the top of the order, the dangerous, most dangerous part of the order for Texas A&M. Gavin Grahovac, Caden Sorrell, Chris Hakopian at the top of the order. Those 3 have combined for 55 home runs this year. Grahovac is 1 for 2 with a line out and a single, and he goes after the first pitch and fouls it off third base side.
Yeah, he had a monster home run a couple days ago on the first pitch fastball. I don't think Kevin Grahovac's going to see another fastball the rest of this tournament on the first pitch, and he hasn't tonight.
The 0-1. Grahovac hits this one high, and he hits it deep, and it is way out of the ballpark. Solo shot for Gavin Grahovac, his 3rd in as many days. That brings a little life back to this crowd and makes it a 9-2 game.
That'll get them fired up. Gavin Grahovac, 446 feet, 112 miles an hour off the bat, his 22nd home run. And that was a bomb to left field, upper deck.
It's 330 feet down that left field line, so another 110 feet beyond the fence with some elevation, and that gets the bubble machines going here at Bluebell. Plenty of pop in this bat as well. Caden Sorrell, 23 home runs for him. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a pop out and a fly out. Two runs for Texas A&M, both of them solo home runs. Hakopian in the first, Gavin Grahovac here in the 5th. That's 22 on the season now for Grahovac. He's one off the freshman record that he set here 2 years ago.
Well, it's the first noise we've heard in this stadium since the beginning of this game. Still down by 7, but Gavin Grahovac got him to come alive a little bit.
It's like the first good thing can get you stirring, and then if you can start to compound on that. There's a strike that nips the corner, and the count goes full now to Caden Sorrell. This one's worth one more look.
And the sound. I mean, the extension and the balance on that swing. Perfect.
Somebody can grab that off the balcony. This ball sharply through the right side of the infield. That one came off the bat at 112 miles an hour, just not with the same trajectory.
And you talk about compounding. These are the 3 guys to do it. All 3 potential first-round picks in July. Gavin Grahovac with the home run. Caden Sorrell with a bullet to right. Chris Hakopian, the transfer from Maryland, hit 375 last year, 321 this year. All 3 have double-digit home runs. And according to Kylie McDaniel, this is how he ranks them. Chris Hakopian, Caden Sorrell, and Gavin Grahovac. This was back in the first inning. Chris Hakopian, solo blast with 2 outs right down the line. And these 3 guys are powerful.
So Cadena, a conversation with Johnson. That's going to get some action in the SC bullpen. Chris Hakopian 1 for 2 with the solo home run.
All of a sudden got a little louder. I think you're right. Every hit brings the volume up.
Now this baseball crowd knows that the Aggies are capable of big things offensively. Two and one. You know, the metal bleachers may not be comfortable to sit in, but they sure are effective when you need a noisemaker.
Not many places that are open to do that either. Tell your neighbor to scoot over a little bit so I can bang on the stands.
Down 5-0 on Friday night, came back and won it 7-5. Down 2-0 yesterday, just a modest couple of runs, but then they ripped off 17 unanswered. And it's now 3-1 to Chris Hakopian. Johnson got to be careful here. Hakopian hits it high in the air, but he got under it. Sear, the right fielder, camped out underneath that one. First out of the inning.
Just enough above the waist by Andrew Johnson to get Chris Hakopian under that pitch. And let's take another look at that swing. Just barely under it for Chris Hakopian. That quieted the crowd down a little bit.
Now Nico Partita at the plate. This freshman is special. 12 home runs, hitting .310 for the year. Missed some time with an injury. They were thrilled to get him back at third base, and it prompted the move with Gavin Grahovac back to first base. Michael Early says this is a future first rounder. Elite defensive skills to go along with a really good bat. Nico Partita named to the SEC All-Freshman team. 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. There goes the runner. Throw is off the mark. That's going to go out into center field. Sorrell gets second, and now he will go to third. A stolen base and an error allows the extra 90 feet. th stolen base of the year for Caden Sorrell. He now has the team lead in that category.
Cadena now 4 for 21 on throwing guys out, around 20%. Caden Sorrell can run. There are 2 outs.
Two down in the inning, and this one fouled back. I think I said first out of the inning when Hakopian flew out. My apologies there. Kellner with the strikeout at the bottom of the order. So 2 down. Need a hit to try and get Sorrell home. Partita fouls it back, stays alive. This is the 90th pitch of the game coming up for Johnson. He's had 3 outings this year where he's gone over 100 pitches. But remember, he threw 52 just a couple of days ago. He gets a swing and a miss, a strikeout to end the inning. Texas A&M gets 1, but no more. Somebody's going to find a souvenir tomorrow when they go to the rec center. Look at this one from Gavin Grahovac.
cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
9-2, SC leading it over Texas A&M as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Aggies struck first with a run in the top of the 1st inning. SC answered with 4. They scored 3 in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th. Texas got 1 more in the top of the 5th inning, and Aggies going to the bullpen once again. Hunter Vincent making his 10th appearance of the year, 4th pitcher of the night.
Haven't given up a hit to a left-hander yet. Andrew Lamb, left-hander at the plate. 94-95 on the fastball. One of many talented freshmen on this A&M roster.
Long swing, and Lamb comes up empty there, leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A 2-run double and a 3-run home run so far for Andrew Lamb. Andrew Lamb is the son of veteran big leaguer Mike Lamb. Mike stayed back home in California, was not here on Friday night, watching his daughter play for a state championship in softball. Took the red eye, arrived yesterday, and he has seen a lot of runs scored in the last couple of days.
Yes, he has. And also the son of Mom Teresa, softball player at Cal State Fullerton. So that's a talented family.
Make it a 3-for-3 game for Andrew Lamb. He is locked in at the plate right now. Double, 3-run homer, and a single to lead things off here in the 5th.
And all off left-handed pitching. Andrew Lamb out of the 7th spot. That's the first hit that Hunter Vincent has given up to a left-hander this year in limited action. Now 1 for 14 left-handed hitters.
10th hit of the game for the Trojans. Dean Carpentier now at the plate, 0 for 2. Squares to bunt, and it's going to be an effective one. Fielded by Vincent. Ooh, good stretch by Grahovac at first base. That gets Lamb into scoring position. We were joking with Andy Stankiewicz before we talked with him earlier in the game today about he had good swings on the offense. You gave him credit. He goes, what are you kidding? I just want to bunt.
And they have 35 times this year, and they don't care the score. Bunted earlier today with they're up 6-0. Now 9-2. Still a long way to go.
There's still some West Coast baseball influence in there.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of teams that still use that philosophy. It was something that Augie Garrido did consistently in his time at Fullerton and then at Texas. You get that leadoff man on an inning, get him in scoring position.
Well, I think that was universal back in those days. It's more of a banger sport now. Of course, I know Skip Bertman didn't like to do it at LSU. He waited for that 3-run homer. I can promise you that.
There were a few of them that were hit in that era. Urban 1 for 2 in this game. Hits it back to the mound. A look to third, but they'll go to first for the out as Lamb goes to third base, but 2 down now in the inning.
Nice job by Hunter Vincent calming himself down. Looked over to third. That could get out of hand in a hurry. Instead, recognizing there is 1 out and just get the runner at first base.
He got a little help from Partito over at third base, who was pointing the other way. Don't come here. Go that way.
You're more likely to try to cut that guy down at third with no outs. But with 1 out to get the second, with 2 outs at third, I don't know that there's any real advantage with a runner at third than there would be if he's standing on second. Pass ball and an error, but
A&M's only been able to force a 0 on the board 1 time so far. That was in the 2nd inning. Desperately trying to keep this deficit where it is. Here's a chopper to Partita. Nearly got caught in between, but he came forward, got the short hop, and threw a strike across. After the leadoff single, 3 ground balls on the infield. We started out with 3 teams from Texas and 1 from the West Coast. Texas State, 120 miles away in San Marcos, about 180 miles to Beaumont, which was the home of Lamar. Lamar the first to head home. Earlier today, Texas State's run came to an end, but Southern California hanging around and trying to stay for one more day in the Brazos Valley. They lead at 9. Lead at 9-2. So 3 of the 4 teams, 58% of the players here, including 2 on this SC team. The tarps off phenomenon continues to spread. Todd Walker's tarp off in the booth, but I guess I didn't have to tell everybody that.
I don't know what that means.
It means you have your shirt off.
Oh, I got you. Well, that's false.
This ball hit the opposite way. Jake Dewar drives that one through the left side of the infield to lead off the inning. He just missed a home run in his at-bat back in the 4th, and he starts things off here in the 6th.
Yeah, he's not missing too much. 3 hits and a home run and a double off Texas State yesterday. And Jake Dewar, like you mentioned, almost out last at bat. Nice job just waiting on the pitch, going the other way. Can't be consistent unless you use the whole field. Jake Dewar used the backside for a base hit.
Bear Harrison takes strike 1 on the outside corner. 94 pitches so far for Andrew Johnson. He actually threw 21 pitches on Friday night.
You were way off.
I was. I was thinking about Gavin Lyons, who threw on Friday night for Texas A&M, Friday afternoon for Texas A&M, but I was way off. Fans from the upper deck to our right have consistently chanted the name of the pitcher, Andrew Johnson. Does not seem to have bothered him much so far tonight. This one on the infield, diving for it and making the catch, Carpentier. Full extension right at the edge of the grass behind the mound.
Pop up right behind the mound, man, it's Carpentier good. Only 2 errors in 180 chances this year, and a tough read if you're Jake Dewar at first base, because if he drops it or can't make the play, obviously you got to try to get down to second base. But if he catches it, you got to be close enough to the bag to get back, and that's what happened. Look at Dewar, kind of caught in between, able to get back. But what a great play by the shortstop.
Ben Royo with a couple of hits in the game, pair of singles. Goes after the first one and fouls it back. Right now, nobody throwing in the SC bullpen. Had some guys that went down, a little bit of stirring an inning ago. Andrew Johnson 2 pitches away from 100.
Ben Royo, a lot like we talked about on the other side with Walter Urban. Only making his 11th start of the year.
Yeah.
472 with the 2 hits tonight, 3 home runs.
This one hit high into the air, out to left center. Urban will camp under it and make the catch. We have not had a pitcher get to 100 pitches in this regional yet. We do now. Terrence Keel, 0 for 2. Keel had a couple of hits. Johnson has consistently tried to work that outside corner. He's gotten that call a few times, but home plate umpire Kellen Levy's been pretty consistent in not giving the extension there. Keel ahead in the count. Hits this one in the air to right. Sear, though, able to make the catch, and that ends the inning. A leadoff man on base for the Aggies, but nothing doing. Back in Bryan College Station on the campus of Texas A&M, Olson Field at Bluebell Park. Interesting note, when this facility opened back in 1978, the first opponent that Texas A&M had in this building, SC. SC team that went on to win a national championship under Rod Dato, one of the 11 under the legendary head coach for whom the home field is named in Los Angeles.
Another interesting note, other than the Nuke Lelouch pitch there, Texas A&M has hosted here in College Station a lot, but since 2015, where they won the 3 last games of the regional, 2016, 2022, 24, and now they're 14-0 as a regional host and in danger of losing the first game tonight.
2 balls and no strikes. See, the 14th time, 35 wins. They have won 9 of the previous 13 regionals that they have hosted. Three 3-0 to Lopez. Hunter Vincent, the 4th pitcher used tonight by Texas A&M. The starter, Ethan Darden, lasted just 2/3 of an inning. Inning and a third from Gavin Lyons. Cooper Powell notched 2 innings, and now Vincent into his 2nd inning of work. Lopez lifts it foul down the right field line and out of play. Adrian Lopez has been on base twice. He singled and scored in the 1st inning. Reached on an error and scored. A couple of right-handers getting loose for the Aggies. That one just misses outside, and it's a leadoff walk for Lopez.
Take another look at that one. Yeah. A little high.
Oklahoma State and Alabama are in extra innings in Tuscaloosa. They're in the top of the 10th inning, 6-6. Oklahoma State lost its opening round game, has come back through the losers side of the bracket. They're trying to force a deciding Game 7 tomorrow. Arizona State and Ole Miss are tied at 4 in the bottom of the 8th in the Lincoln Regional. Arizona State eliminated Nebraska earlier today. Check swing for a strike. Augie Lopez couldn't hold up there. If Ole Miss wins, they will advance to a super regional. That one's paired with Auburn. Arizona State winning would force a deciding Game 7 in Lincoln tomorrow. This one fouled off by Lopez. Mississippi State with a 10-run lead. The Bulldogs have brought the bats this weekend. They're the visiting team in their home park at Dudy Noble. Another big crowd in Starkville. 15-5, leading it over the Raging Cajuns in the 8th inning.
Brian O'Connor, first year over there, coming over from Virginia, where they won a national championship in 2015. And what an instant difference he's made in Starkville.
Cal Poly trying to finish it off in Los Angeles. They lead St. Mary's 5-2 in the 7th inning.
Ozzie Smith would be happy about that.
I would think so.
How about that? A walk-on, Ozzie Smith.
Watching.
Walk-on at Cal Poly, walked out as a Hall of Famer. All-American.
Three and two. Big game for Augie Lopez. Doubled in a run scored in the 1st, a walk in the 2nd, and a 2-run home run in the 4th. Out in front of that one, and we'll do it again. Auburn with the win in a loser's bracket game earlier today, an elimination game, to knock UCF out, and they are just underway with Milwaukee. They're going to have to beat the Milwaukee Panthers twice. Strikeout there on a swing and a miss from Augie Lopez. The Mariners head to Baltimore to take on the Orioles on Thursday, June 11th. Catch the first pitch at 7 Eastern on ESPN and on the ESPN app. Of Major League Baseball the day before the College World Series begins in Omaha. This is the time of the year if you are a baseball fan. On the ground, foul wide of the bag at third.
Yeah, a lot going on around the country. A lot of upsets. UCLA, the #1 overall seed, getting beat today. That's incredibly surprising. They've been eliminated.
Kevin Takeuchi swings through that one. Had a 2-run single back in the first, 1 for 3 tonight. Takeuchi with 6 hits in the regional. He's had some big ones too. 3 doubles and a home run.
Hunter Vincent doing a nice job of coming inside to the left-handers, and now Kevin Takeuchi, the right-hander, burying that ball in. And as a hitter, if he's proven that he can come in there, you start thinking of how you get the barrel to that pitch, and it makes you vulnerable to all the off-speed, especially away.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw to second is in time. Bear Harrison with a strike to second base. How about that? Strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning.
Pretty good by Bear Harrison, throwing out 30% of the runners, 10 for now, 11 for now, 35. And just the release, and right on the money for the third out. Aggies get another shot.
Alongside Todd Walker, Richard Cross with you in College Station, Texas. A&M a win away from advancing to a super regional, but SC with other ideas. Aggie fans try to do their part, whatever it takes. Taj doing work with the handheld in the stands. Appreciate that. Pretty serious set of rally caps there.
105 pitches for Andrew Johnson now into the 7th. Only giving up the 7 hits, 2 earned runs. Not a lot of strikeouts, just 3. A couple line drives at people, a lot of weak outs. Most of the ball's in the air. Andrew Johnson having a hard time keeping it low, but he has got him to barely miss up in the air. 11 pop-ups in this game.
New season high for Andrew Johnson in pitches. Hit that mark at 106. That was pitch 107. Got some guys moving around now in the SC bullpen. Kellner leading off, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. He puts this one on the ground foul down the third baseline. Two balls and 2 strikes to Boston Kellner. Strike 3 called. Kellner goes away looking 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Now the 4th of the game for Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, trifecta. Andrew Johnson 6'3", so when he comes over the top and he does keep it low in the zone like that, it's got big tilt on it. Hard to read whether or not it's going to hold its plane, and it does on that pitch. Boston Kellner down for the 3rd time in this game with 3 strikeouts.
On the ground left side, Takeuchi fields it cleanly and makes a good throw, and Grahovac is retired. That's the 2nd out of the inning here in the 7th. Todd, I can't help but think back to when Andrew Johnson was taken out of the game on Friday. He was visibly frustrated leaving the mound. He wanted to stay in and try and finish that one off, but because they took him out when they did, now who knows, that game might have gone differently if Johnson had stayed in. But it has set him up to be able to deliver a masterpiece tonight. He scattered 7 hits, given up 2 solo home runs, has 4 strikeouts, and has walked just 1. That was his 111th pitch of the night.
Yeah, and Andy Stankiewicz and USC still has their closer in the pen. It hasn't been great for Adam Troy lately, but he has been their guy at the end of innings, and it feels like they're trying to extend Andrew Johnson just long enough to get to Adam Troy to get the last 6 outs. Andrew Johnson can get through this inning.
Gets the fastball called on the inside corner. He has been consistently at 92, 93 with the fastball all night long. That was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Caden Sorrell behind in the count. And he pops it up on the infield. Just into the edge of the grass, the second baseman, Covarrubias, makes the catch. New career high for pitches and innings pitched for Andrew Johnson, and SC leads it by 7. Welcome back to NCAA Baseball Regionals, presented by Capital One. Bluebell Park, College Station, Texas. USC facing elimination has gotten a brilliant performance from Andrew Johnson on the mound. Career-high 114 pitches. And the offense has continued to drive this Trojans team as Isaac Cadena leads things off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Trojans had to win tonight to force a deciding Game 7 with a trip to a super regional hanging in the balance. The winner of this College Station regional will meet North Carolina in Chapel Hill next weekend. Cadena pops it up foul, third base side. Arteta squeezes it for out number 1. UCLA, the number 1 overall seed, eliminated earlier today by St. Mary's. That was in extra innings. Second number 1 national seed to not reach the regional final. Vanderbilt in 2025, just a year ago, was the other. How about Troy in the offense, putting 16 on the board in Gainesville tonight to force a Game 7 in Gainesville. 4 teams so far have punched their ticket, including the aforementioned North Carolina Tar Heels, who will get the winner of this College Station regional at Boshamer Stadium.
Those mid-majors are not afraid. Talked to a couple coaches this year that said this would be the year of the mid-major. Remember, Coastal Carolina was the last national champion to win it, 2016. Since then, the SEC has won 7 of the last 8 national championships and 6 in a row.
Milwaukee with a chance to do that, trying to get to a super regional and beat Auburn in the opening game of the Auburn regional.
That's an interesting story. Milwaukee, they have a losing record. They lost the first 5 in a row, went down to Baton Rouge to start out the season, got outscored 41-15.
Ooh.
Now they've won 9 in a row. Sean Wagner over there, 3rd year as a head coach. Just Milwaukee running through that Auburn regional. First 2 games outscored Auburn in the UCF 26-14. Wow.
Early in that game, they've dealt with a lot of weather issues on the plains this weekend, and they're in the top of the 2nd inning. No score between Auburn and Milwaukee. The Tigers and the Panthers. Andrew Lamb has had a big night. He's 3 for 3. A double, a 3-run home run, and a single. He's also scored a run. He's driven in 5. Lamb takes away there, and the count goes to 2-0. If you're seeing him play for the first time, you'll notice no batting gloves. He goes to the dirt around home plate after every pitch. Little dirt on the hands. I don't know if it's necessary after every pitch. May turn into his routine.
And a lot of times hitters have routines they don't even think about. If you were to tell him that's what he's doing, he probably wouldn't even know that he does it. But I loved hitting batting practice and the soft toss drills and tee work without batting gloves. You get a feel for the barrel. There's Mike Lamb, played 10 years in the big leagues.
Spent some time here in the state of Texas with the Houston Astros. He was a batting gloves guy.
Old Franklin's, yeah. But it's a different beast when you try to end in the game. You know, you hit the ball at the end of the bat or on the hands, it stings.
Did you ever have Franklin's?
Especially if it's cold. Yeah, I had a pair of those.
Which color?
Can't remember. Probably that, navy blue. Depends on what team you were with, you know. You wanted to match. Moises Alou was the only guy I knew in 40-degree weather that would, you know, go up there without batting gloves. In Chicago.
That's a special kind of cold at Wrigley, isn't it?
Oh, man. With the wind blowing.
2 balls and no strikes to Andrew Lamb. Bashir at first after the walk. Lamb takes a strike there, and it goes to 2-1. A 7-run lead for USC. Well, that's a good-looking pitch right there. Called the ball 3-1 to Andrew Lamb. Dean Carpentier waits on deck. He's 0 for 3. Lamb lays off and draws the walk. He's been on base all 4 times tonight.
2 walks in a row from Hunter Vincent. And now having to deal with the bottom of this USC order.
6 hits in the regional for Andrew Lamb. He's driven in 9 runs. And Lamb with a couple of walks as well. Texas A&M is going to make a pitching change. After 38 pitches, Hunter Vincent's night is none. Aggies will call on a 5th pitcher tonight, trying to keep this game where it is. Nice 7 in the bottom of the 7th. USC with 1st and 2nd and 1 down. 9-2 our score. Juan Vargas into the game. He's 2-1 on the year. Junior from Panama City, Panama. Vargas making his 20th appearance of the season.
Good numbers for Juan Vargas. 94-95 on the fastball. 100 points better against right-handed hitters, only hitting 159. Fastball heavy to the left-handers with a slider. Starts to spin it against the right-handers. Only 50% fastballs, 50% off speed. So
Hayden Woodson pinch running at first base for Andrew Lamb. Dying fast in center field, and that's going to fall in front of Sorrell. Everybody moves up 90 feet, and the bases are loaded. Dean Carpentier with his first hit of the game.
Look how far Caden Sorrell's playing back on this few feet in front of the track. He has to come all the way in. He got a decent jump on it, but ball just dies right in front of him. And USC station to station right now with only 1 out.
That'll bring the 9-hole hitter to the plate, Walter Urban. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Urban has had a good regional, 8 total hits. SC playing in its 4th game in 3 days. Lost a heartbreaker on Friday night, 5-4 to Texas State. They've got 2 grand slams. One of them belongs to Walter Urban. Urban fouls this one away, and the count evens at a ball and a strike.
talked about Ben Royo for Texas A&M, only 11 starts on the year, and his mirror image right here, Walter Urban. Limited number of appearances this year, came on strong here in the month of May.
This one smothered by Harrison. Crowd on Friday afternoon here in College Station was nervous for a while. Aggies got the offense going midway through the game, and it turned into a pretty raucous environment. Last night was crazy. This one bounces over Partita's head at third. Basir comes around to score, so does Hayden Woodson. It's a 2-run single for Walter Urban, and now a 9-point lead. Fight on, Trojans.
We've seen this happen a couple times, just a hard dirt in front of the plate. And Walter Urban just bounces it right over a pulled-in Partita at third base. 2 more runs across for the Trojans. Texas A&M scored 17 runs yesterday in that win against Texas State. Now getting the favor paid back.
I'd like to call a challenge. Go to a video review and see if we can overturn what I said a second ago when I said a 9-point lead. Welcome to baseball, Richard. I think we call it runs in this game.
Well, nobody picked up on it until you just pointed it out. So
somebody did. You put double digits on the scoreboard, and it feels like a football game instead.
Well, the referees aren't going to get on you.
Those online referees might. If I throw the flag on myself, though, surely that counts for something. Avery Covarrubias hitless tonight in the leadoff spot, 0 for 4. Two. Strike 3 called. Covarrubias goes away looking for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, he's just not seeing the ball well. He struck out looking back in the third also. Just either out thinking himself by thinking it's going to be some sort of off speed. That's twice been burnt by the fastball. 0 for 5 tonight for the leadoff hitter.
Adrian Lopez, couple of runs scored. And makes a grab on the berm down there. There's the, with a hat too.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's not a real high percentage play.
No, it's not. He made it, though. Yeah, she's not impressed. Hey, babe, you see what I just did? No.
If you'd used your hands, I would have been impressed, but
yeah,
caught in your hat. I mean,
anybody can do that.
Long swing and a miss from Lopez.
Well, he's having the time of his life.
A 11-2 lead for SC, trying to force a game tomorrow night. Lopez got a piece to stay alive there, fouled it straight back. Extra innings in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Oklahoma State tied at 6. extra innings in Lincoln. Ole Miss and Arizona State tied at 4. Two and two now to Adrian Lopez. Lopez, a junior from Baldwin Park, California, transferred to SC from Long Beach State. Runners go. Foul tip held on to by Harrison for a strikeout to end the inning. So back-to-back strikeouts. One of the better defensive plays tonight by an Aggie came on the berm. "11 runs, 12 hits, and an error for the SC Trojans. 2 runs, 7 hits, and an error for Texas A&M. Barring a miracle from the Aggies in their last 2 at-bats, we're going to be playing again tomorrow. SC lost the opener, their opening game, to Texas State on Friday night. Came back yesterday, eliminated Lamar. Beat Texas State earlier today. Now getting their shot at the Aggies. And they have not missed so far. And Andrew Johnson back on the mound. When he went into the dugout after the 7th inning, Todd, you were watching that, and you could tell the reaction that he had on the mound on Friday night when he was pulled was the same one that he had going to the dugout. Don't take me out.
Yeah, this is the rare deal where it feels like Andrew Johnson just doesn't matter how many pitches he throws. He's in it for the long. Especially with the score the way it is. He can get them through 2 more. They're going to need all the arms they can get if they go to another game tomorrow.
Only 1 complete game by the pitching staff this year from SC. That belongs to Grant Govell, who pitched on Friday. This one hit out into center field. Catch made, and there's 1 down.
This USC pitching staff has been really good. 10 shutouts this year, 9 of which involved Grant Govell or the nation's strikeout leader, Mason Edwards. But it's pretty impressive.
Nico Partito for 3. Andrew Johnson has retired 7 in a row, going back to the leadoff single from Jake Dewar in the 6th inning. This ball lined out to right. That's a base hit, and that ends the string. Nico Partito with his first hit of the game.
This kid's impressive. Only a freshman can flat out pick it at third base and spray the ball around, has some pop, plays like a veteran.
Jake Dewar's got a hit tonight, a single back in the 6th, 1 for 3. I know the number of pitches is important. Urban has moved over to left. Takeuchi has gone to third, and they have brought Maddox Risky in. Takeuchi has gone from third to center field. Urban from center to left, and the new third baseman is Risky. Alabama got a 3-run home run in the top of the 11th inning to take a 9-6 lead in extras over Oklahoma State. Tide trying to go 3-0 in the Tuscaloosa Regional and advance to a super. This ball out to right. Bashir on the run. That's off the wall. And that ball rolling away. Takeuchi's going to have to come pick it up. Partita going to come all the way around to score. That is an RBI triple for Jake Dewar. That's the first triple we have seen in the College Station Regional. That ball was blasted to right field.
106 off the bat. Jake Dewar right over the head of Bashir, who thought he could make the play, doesn't, out of position, throws his glove at it. That doesn't work. And Jake Dewar bringing a little life back into the stadium, and I think that'll be it from Andrew Johnson.
Andy Stankiewicz headed out to the mound. Andrew Johnson getting hugs from his teammates on the infield. He pitched a marvelous game tonight. Career high 7 1/3, career high 123 pitches, just 3 runs allowed by Johnson. Scattered 9 hits, gave up a couple of solo home runs and the RBI triple there. Top of the 8th inning, Texas A&M looking for some Olsen magic late. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Bubbles flying here in College Station. Aggies fans hoping to have a reason to shoot the bubbles off a whole lot more. Andrew Johnson made that hard tonight. And he turns it over now to the freshman right-hander, Rohan Kasanagatu. Has not been used in lengthy appearances this year. He delivers a first pitch strike. Second time that we have seen Kasanagatu this weekend. Facing Bear Harrison. Delivers a strike off speed there. Kasanagotu making his 8th appearance of the year, has not allowed a run. 10 strikeouts, 4 walks, only 2 hits. The 1-2. This one bounces in the dirt. Dewar thought about it at third base, but you just can't risk an out at home. So he stays put now with just 1 out in the inning.
No, when you're down by 8, you don't take any chances. You've got to make sure you can go into each bag or base standing up.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Bear Harrison.
Oh.
And it hit him.
Jeepers.
Looked like right on that left shoulder blade, or maybe just inside it. He's hurting. But he'll head down to first base, and the Aggies have runners at the corners. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all of the sites that are still playing tomorrow is available to you on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home of all NCAA championships.
It doesn't feel like Bear Harrison is crowding the plate. He's been hit 22 times this year. And I think the book on him is trying to get it inside.
Twice tonight.
Well,
yeah,
20 on the sheet.
No, I'm with
plus
you.
2 tonight. I know my math is a little sketchy over the weekend, but I got that one right.
How many points on the board again?
Still the first quarter.
Runners at the corners with 1 out. Ben Royo's got a couple of hits in the game. He's got 3 home runs on the year. He takes a strike there, and the count evens at 1-1. Got a few folks that are left, but the Aggie fans that are still here, still believing, trying to make some noise to get behind the home team, who is the visitor in this game. This ball lifted, hooking foul down left field line.
I think that's what you love about this group, the Texas A&M fans. It was 17-2 in that Texas State game yesterday, and nobody left. Still packed late in that game.
Two and 2. Those bench backs getting a workout. The 2-2. This one hit to third. To second for 1 to first for the double play. Risky to Covarrubias to Lopez. That ends the threat and quiets the crowd. It's an 8-run lead for USC going to the bottom of the 8th. Scan that QR code. Squeeze Play gets you through the night. It's going to get you through the day tomorrow, keeping up with all of the action. Our Squeeze Play team has been phenomenal this weekend. Hosting duties for Matt Schick and Chris Button, Chris Burke and Mike Rooney. It really is one of the coolest things that we do as a company, and it's just an outstanding production.
Well, they know our game so well, and that's what I love about being in Omaha, getting a chance to talk to Mike Rooney and Chris Burke about the game. Told you before, I can't really bust out in a baseball conversation back home, so when I get to Omaha, I can actually talk about it a little bit.
Check swing. New catcher in the game for Texas A&M. That is Blake Labuda. This one gets away from him, but nobody on base, so no bother. Ole Miss walks it off in the bottom of the 10th inning. And the Rebels will advance to a super regional, 5th team, to earn that spot next weekend. This one out to right field, and that is in for a base hit. Augie Lopez. So Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, Kansas, and Ole Miss have locked in their plans for next weekend in the Super Regional. Those top three, Georgia, North Carolina, and Texas will be hosting. Kansas, Ole Miss are going to have to wait and see what else happens as to whether or not they will be on the road or potentially at home next weekend.
Then Ole Miss could potentially host, right, if Auburn doesn't win their own regional.
Auburn, the number 4 overall seed. They've got to beat Milwaukee twice. Those top 8 seeds protected. If they win the regional, they will host the super regional. Kevin Takeuchi takes slow for ball 3, ahead in the count here. This SC offense, since yesterday's game, and it was right out of the gate in yesterday's game against Lamar, has been like a freight train going downhill.
Really has.
Scored 19. Followed it up earlier today with, 15? This one ripped through the left side of the infield. Station to station for Lopez. The Stanley Cup final gets underway Tuesday night. Game 1 with the Golden Knights taking on the Hurricanes at 8 Eastern. You can watch it live on ABC. You can stream the game on the ESPN app. Hard not to love Stanley Cup playoffs. You get to the final. So good.
Yeah, back to your point about USC. They pinned 5 on Lamar in the first inning. And then earlier today, 4 with a grand slam against Texas State. And 4 more tonight in the first inning alone. So they have attacked early.
Pinch hitter here for, no, it's Cadena. Beg your pardon. I was curious why you would make a change there. Not this guy.
For the guy that's only been out once in the tournament.
Cadena fouls this one off. He has been somewhat more human in this game. 1 for 3, been on base twice with a couple of runs scored, a walk and a double.
Yeah, that's right. Once coming into this game. Now he's come back down to earth with a strikeout. Pop up to third.
Cal Poly sweeps through the Los Angeles Regional. They beat St. Mary's 5-2. And the team that you did all that research on early this morning headed to a super regional, the Cal Poly Mustangs.
Or California Polytechnic State University, somewhere in the country. Ozzie Smith's doing a backflip.
Cadena struck out twice in this game. That's the first out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Juan Vargas, 5th pitcher used tonight on the mound for the Aggies. Up and in here to Basir. Oklahoma State not going quietly. They've got the bases loaded in the bottom of the 11th with 2 outs, trailing 9-6 to Alabama.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of game 7s tomorrow.
And a base hit to score a couple for Oklahoma State. They're only going to get 1 run out of that, so it's 9-7 now. Wow. Foul tip. Held on by Labuda. Out into right field. This one's going to fall in the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Lopez comes around to score. Takeuchi hot on his heels. He'll step on home plate. 2 more on the board for USC.
About what you would expect from Jack Basir. Last year in the Corvallis Regional, made the all-regional team. He was hot this time of year, and he's doing it again. Big stretch with the lower half, but keeps that bat head level into the gap. Double for Jack Basir. 2 more runs for the Trojans, now up 13-3.
This one goes to the backstop, and that will send Basir over to third. Maddox risky at the plate. But Risky will be locked in on Stanley Cup final on Tuesday night. He's from Vegas.
Will you be? You a hockey fan?
I'm interested enough in it. I wouldn't say that I'm a hockey fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think either of our home states have a huge hockey base.
Yeah, Louisiana, I didn't grow up watching.
This one ripped out into left field. That's a base hit for Maddox Risky. Jack Basir comes home to score, and it's an 11-run lead for USC over Texas A&M.
We have seen some big offensive performances in this regional.
Texas A&M's got 1 more at bat in this game, but this is another ball. Carpentier rips it out into left field, and these are swings that look like BP right now. These SC hitters are hunting anything close to the plate and punishing it. We've now got number 6 in terms of a super regional. Alabama wins 9-7 over Oklahoma State. Cowboy season comes to an end. Alabama, one of the top 8 seeds, will be at home in Tuscaloosa next weekend. That's 7 now. Forgot about Cal Poly just a moment ago. So 4 of the top 8 have advanced, and then you've got a couple of non-hosts advancing to go along with Kansas. One rewarding performance. You go to nobody but Andrew Johnson. Man, did he deliver tonight for the Trojans.
Andrew Johnson pitched USC into the 8th inning. Gave up 9 hits, but scattered them around. Only the 3 earned runs. Struck out 4. Faced 32 batters and gave the Trojans all they needed tonight to force a Game 7, 3 outs away.
Career highs for innings pitched and pitches thrown, 7 1/3. He gives up 9 hits, couple of solo home runs early. He just settled in and just pounded the strike zone.
124 pitches. You don't see that in this day and age anymore. Andrew Johnson, we saw him get pulled the other night when he didn't want to come out. Well, he didn't want to come out again, but what a great performance he made, and probably the biggest start of his career.
Grant Cunningham making his 17th appearance of the year, has 4 wins on the season. 29 strikeouts. He's facing Walter Urban with 1 down and runners at first and second, and he gets a swing and a miss from Urban. Couple of hits in the 9-hole tonight for Walter Urban. He's driven in a pair of runs. You may add another to the super regional list, Oregon. Ducks winning in Eugene over Oregon State. 4-1 the final in that one. 0-2 to Urban. Cunningham delivers. On the ground, right side to second for 1. Throw to first, not quite in time. The counter really unloaded that throw to first base.
Boy, he had to. The timing was getting ahead of him. They knew he had to fire it over to first. Not a bad transfer by Arroyo, but a little too late. Just trying to get Walter Urban. Ball hit to Arroyo's left, transfer, and then the fire over, just not enough. Walter Urban sprinting down the line.
Top of the order, Avery Covarrubias. He is 0 for 5 in this game. Covarrubias had 4 hits in the regional coming in. Now 5 for 16 on the weekend. Runners at the corners. This one fouled back. He is the only spot in the order that has not reached base in this game for SC.
19 runs, 15 runs, and now 14 runs in 3 games for the Trojans. I don't know if I've seen a college team this year pull that off in 3 straight games.
Covarrubi is still battling at the plate. You know, and interestingly, Southern Cal is not the offense or not the team that we were talking about offensively coming into this field of 4 teams. You had Texas A&M with their prolific offense, Texas State, all the home runs that they had hit, but it has been the Trojans that have put on a show. Coming up after our game, stay tuned for Sports Center. I'll catch you up on this Sunday in sports. Top of the 9th inning here in College Station. Big night. These USC Trojans, they have swung it up and down the lineup. Rohan Kasangoto is back out for this 9th inning. Got an inning-ending double play in the 8th. Keel out at first, just in front of the runner. Kasangoto does a good job getting over and covering there. Aggies down to their final 2 outs.
Yeah, nice job by Adrian Lopez as well with the transfer. Hitting the pitcher on the run.
Pinch hitter here for Texas A&M, Travis Chestnut. Swinging the bat in place of Boston Kellner, who was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts tonight. Seen Chestnut as a pinch runner a couple of times this weekend. Senior from Pflugerville, Texas. There's a strike to Chestnut. Count goes to 1-1. It'll be interesting to see what these 2 head coaches decide to do on the mound tomorrow. At this point, we don't know a game time yet.
Yeah, it feels like USC's in a little better shape than Texas A&M on the mound. And the way they've been swinging the bats, A&M's going to need somebody to shut them down. early.
Two and two to Travis Chestnut. Pops it out of play and will stay alive at the plate with one down in the top of the ninth inning. Masterpiece on the mound from Andrew Johnson, and a relentless offensive attack tonight from the Trojans. And you've got a lopsided scoreboard. 14 runs on 17 hits. Chestnut goes away on strikes. This the list of teams that for now know that they are headed to a super regional. So far, 4 of the top 8, Georgia, UNC, Texas, and Bama. Oregon and Mississippi State. Kansas, all teams that were national seeds. Ole Miss winning the Lincoln Regional. Cal Poly winning the Los Angeles Regional. Cal Poly, the Mustangs sweeping through in 3 games there in Westwood.
Impressive, both offensively and defensively. Cal Poly moving on.
Blake Benderup getting an opportunity to swing it here in place of Gavin Grahovac. Grahovac had a couple of hits, including a home run. The 0-2, there's a swing and a miss, and that is how this one comes to an end. USC in dominant fashion wins twice on this Sunday. They eliminate Texas State, and they force a deciding Game 7 tomorrow here in Aggieland, with a trip to a super regional hanging in the balance. No start time announced yet for tomorrow's game. We'll get that to you as soon as we have it. 14-3, regional final game number 1. And so we have a winner-take-all Game 7 tomorrow night. What an offensive performance through 2 games today for USC.
Through 2, but through the tournament, 52 runs for USC, and we know how good defensively they are on the mound. They're playing really well and got to feel pretty good about themselves rolling into tomorrow.
Final score 14-3. USC wins it over Texas A&M. For Todd Walker and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Richard Cross saying so long from College Station. We're back at it tomorrow here in Aggieland.